There you go. We've got awesome conditions for a great big trout bite. We're talking about big trout, lots of them. We're up in Port Richey again. We were planning on going to Charlotte Harbor. We were scouting that area. Greg was down there scouting that area this week. The bite was okay, but Greg and I both fished up in Port Richey this week and we slaughtered monster trout. So we decided to stay at home. Brought our good friend, Captain James Pelham. He's one of the head mechanics over at Land Lakes Marine. Maybe we'll be able to sneak a good mechanics tip out of him if we try really hard. But anyway, stay tuned to B3 Fishing. We've got a schedule up. It's a preliminary schedule of where we're going to be, what we're going to be fishing for. So you'll be able to stay tuned to that, see what's coming up next. And anyway, don't go anywhere. We're going to go catch some monster trout on a negative low tide up here in Port Richey. Check it out. I got him. Man, I thought I missed that fish. He's not a monster, but he's swimming right at me. Tell you, they hit it right on that twitch, and if you don't really feel that thump during the, or not during the twitch, when it's dropping, you go to twitch it the second time and it's there, it kind of shocks you a little bit. He's not bad. He's a keeper. Guys, I got my good friend, Captain James Pelham here. James is a Yamaha certified tech and one of the head mechanics over at Land Lakes Marine. But anyway, we're out here getting trout. And I usually take James and make sure he falls in the water every day, but I told him today, this time, let's stay in the boat since we got microphones on. But anyway, James is a really good friend of mine, helps me out with everything I need with my boat. If you ever need to get stuff worked on, head over to Land Lakes Marine, and either James or Jason will be taking care of you. But stick around, we're gonna get some more trout, hopefully some big ones. We run out here to the island. We got a northeast wind, negative low tide today. Whenever you get a northeast wind on the Gulf Coast, it blows water out. Happens in Charlotte Harbor, happens up here in Tarpon Springs, Anclote area. And as you'll be able to see while we're fishing is all the water comes off these flats. I mean, just completely vanishes off the flats. And there's troughs. I mean, there's troughs. I mean, they have them in Clearwater, they got them up here. Anytime the water comes off the flats, these fish are going to look for a place where they can go and feed. The pinfish get down in there, the bait get down in there. And so we're going to target these troughs. And Greg might be able to show you here in a little bit. One of the key things to it is you need to know where the troughs are, and we'll show you that in a second. But we're going to fish these mirror lure Little Johns on a jig head, and we're going to pitch them into these troughs. We're going to jig them up and down, bounce them, twitch, twitch, pause. And usually when you get to that pause part, that's when the fish is going to hit. We're using a, I don't know, what would you call this, hot pink? We'd go with silver flake in it today. James is over there, Captain James is over there, going to use a chartreuse with a little bit of glitter in it. We're just going to bounce these through the holes, and when we feel that twitch, we're going to cross their eyeballs. Get them on the hook. Is that bottom or fish? Yeah, it's bottom or fish? Fish, yeah? Hey, you're rolling. go. And it's not a pinfish this time, boys.
Oh, taking off the other way.
Nice trout. Sometimes you just got to work for it a little bit.
Big old.
This is a nice trout. You know it's nice trout when they take a little drag. Oh man. Oh look, they got more of them right by the boat.
Leaving with them? Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Nice, nice trout. Look at that, Greg. Oh, see if we can get him in the boat. Come here, buddy. Come here in the boat.
Nice.
Whew, that took a little work.
It took a little work.
We found one. A couple of his cousins just went swimming by the boat. That's a nice, healthy, fat wintertime trout sitting in these shallow sand holes. Just throwing that mirror lure provoker right across it, letting it slide. We're gonna let him go. I don't feel like cleaning fish today. Oh, he got me wet, said thanks. There we go. Another nice trout. Dang, these are big trout, man. I love wintertime trout fishing, especially when they eat lures. James, that was just about the same spot. It doesn't look like much of a hole, but I swear it's in the exact same spot.
Probably the same one swam back to the same hole.
You think? I'll know if he's got a big hole in one side of his mouth.
In mouth.
Dang, this guy's so freaking fat, I can't hardly move him. Okay.
Switch.
Dude, this one might be bigger than the last one. God, look at that pig. I don't know if I can lift him up by the line. All right, big boy, come here. God, they like getting me wet today. Come here, don't you do that anymore. Golly, look at the size of that trout. That is awesome. Barely hooked. Good grief. That is a fat trout. Like I said, they're just eating these provokers, sliding them through, weightless through the through these holes. Golly, look at the girth on that thing. They do, man. They just want to get me wet today. It's cold outside. Don't they know it's cold?
The time I threw the cast net, I had a 5, a 3.
You got one? They hooked that one right by the boat.
Yeah.
It's not a bad trout either. It's not a clay-sized trout, but
It's not a Capt clay-sized trout.
that's not a bad trout at all. Did you get that one on the jig or on the jerkbait?
On the jerkbait. Ooh, come here, Bo.
Well, he wanted that thing too, didn't he? Another nice sized trout. Yeah. Oh, these trout are lucky today. None of us got any oil at the house. Nice fish. Anyway, we've come out here on this negative low tide, and we're fishing holes. We tried some deeper holes where the fish had been, but the last couple nights it's gotten colder and colder, it seems like. And seems to us, and there's no scientific theory behind it, but it seems to us lots of times, especially when the sun comes out on a day like today, these fish will move up into shallower potholes to warm up. And we're not far from the deeper holes where we saw them before. They'll just go around the corner, find some place, and it started happening last week when we got a cold front. We were catching fish in 4 to 6 feet of water. They weren't there, moved up into 1.5 feet, 2 feet, and there they are laying up on some rocks and stuff like that. But anyway, we're fishing with these mirror lure provokers. You got the same color on there? You got a different color.
A little bit different color.
James fishing one with a weighted hook, a little bit of watermelon red flake style bait, and then I'm fishing like a golden brim with a gold flake, and I'm fishing mine weightless But we've moved up in these shallower spots. When you're fishing these shallower spots, you can throw jigs in them. But a lot of times, especially when you have a cold front, that little gliding part they have when they're weightless seems like it turns fish on. So we're fishing these shallower holes. We're out here just working the barrier islands. And if you don't find them where they have been, just look around close, because they're going to be somewhere close. Conditions have changed just a little bit, and it can be just enough to make a move a couple hundred yards. Oh, here we go, another one. I was just about to reel that bait in too. You know how you get to the point where like, I ain't gonna catch anything.
Swimming to the boat.
He's not a monster. Well, by today's standards, he's not. This is a nice trout. But
Oh, that's a nice trout.
yeah, never mind, I take it back. It's a nice trout.
That's pretty nice.
Just a little 22-incher, you know. All right, fish, don't get me wet this time. I just cleaned my glasses off. There we go. Another nice trout on the mirror lure provoker, man. I'm telling you, I love these baits. 4 or 5 fish, easy, per bait. And you can tell he wanted it. James, we were talking about earlier, you actually said, and it sounds silly, but what's the #1 maintenance tip on a boat and a motor?
Lower unit gear oil.
Yeah.
Keeping fishing line off the prop shaft, stuff like that. That's the biggest thing. Water pumps. Your lower unit's what's gonna make you come home.
Yeah, a lot of people, you know, I even have friends that are guides. Lower unit goes out and they find out there was no oil in it.
Yep. Yeah, leak
it's
out, you
simple
get a little
things
bit
you can do to
of
check
Power
that.
Pro on there. It'll leak out really quick. You won't even know it.
So just take a prop wrench, take the prop off.
Yeah, at least once a month. It's not, I mean, depending on how much you're using the boat, especially if there's a lot of people fishing in that area too.
Yeah.
Take it off once a month or so.
Check, make sure there's no line on it. Because what the line does, what it eats up the seal.
Yeah, it just gets up wrapped so tight and it starts melting the seal away. It'll cut it, melt the spring off of it, and then it leaks like gear oil out.
And if you don't check it, the only way you're going to find out
Is when you gotta go pay a big bill to have it rebuilt.
So that's the Land O'Lakes easy tip of the week. Just check your prop shaft, make sure there's no line on it. That way you'll be sure you have lower unit oil. And you need to check lower unit oil anyway.
Yeah, you should do lower unit oil and fuel filters every couple months.
I got you. You got him? Nice fish, dude. James, the way the day started out, you thought I was pulling your leg about finding fish, weren't you?
Yeah.
You thought I was mad at you or something, didn't you? Just trying to torch you. That's a nice fish, man.
Ooh, come on up here. Ooh, get up there.
Come here, baby. Nice fish. We just moved up a little bit, hit a new hole, hit a new little hole, and he's sitting right in it.
Yeah, first cast. Not bad.
Awesome.
Not bad. Ooh, come on. Oh yeah. The colder the water, the more they like getting you wet.
That's right, that's true. Why are they sitting right there and not right there? You ever think about that stuff?
Yeah.
But it doesn't bother you like it does me, does it?
No. Just go out and go fishing.
Oh. I don't know what I got. Oh, I got a little trout.
I got a little trout too.
Not the same trout we were catching earlier, but
It's good.
we're back in another little pothole. This one's actually deeper than what we were catching the big trout in. But we're kind of out of the wind back here. We've seen one redfish. Got a double on trout. Both of them pushing the keeper size limit. I don't know. Yours might be about 14, 13, 14.
13 inches.
I got you on size. Mine's 13 and a half. We're back in a little protected area, out of the wind. Wind's blowing out of the northeast, so we're on the southwest side of the little island, a little trough. You can see the water's dropped out, but we've seen a flounder. James had a flounder on, seen a couple of little redfish. We got 2 trout in a doubleheader. Not the easiest trough to get in. Most boats won't be able to make it in here, but anytime you get in these low water situations, you find that deep spot where you got activity and mullet going on, you'll find something there. See if we can find something else. Hey, what's some, you know, we talked about the lower unit oil earlier, checking it, the prop shaft line, stuff like that. The number one thing though that people do that causes problems with their boat is what?
They let them sit too long.
It really causes problems.
Stale gas, it has batteries not being charged, just letting the batteries sit. All that's going to give you problems down the road.
And then they wonder why they go for their once every 3-month fishing trip and they wake up and get the boat ramp and everything.
Yeah.
Nothing works.
Yeah, and then I'll call you once you come down the ramp to get it fired up.
I've never done that.
Yeah, you have.
But seriously though, even
but yours isn't from sitting there, yours is from using it all the time.
But if you even like to fish every once in a while, you got a boat. If you want the boat to be ready to go, when you're ready to go, you need to at least crank it up and run it every once in a while, even if you don't have time to go fishing, right?
Yeah, once, it's just during winter time, once or twice a week, you know, or once, twice a month. Fire it up in the driveway, let it run on the hose. If you can, back it in the lake, back, you know, get a little power to it, but just run on the hose for a little bit.
Listen, we see it all the time. Go to the boat ramp, and there'll be a guy who's all excited, got his kids in the car, dogs ready to go. Back boat in the water, nothing turns on. Batteries are dead, or if he cranks it up, smokes so much that the motor turns off, gets flooded. The easiest way, like James said, to keep your boat in good running condition is run it. Even if you don't have time to fish, just crank the sucker up, keep it going, keep tabs on the battery, keep fresh gasoline in it, and keep it cranked every once in a while, and you won't have to worry about showing up the boat ramp and have nothing working. All right, moved in. We were fishing out in the Barrier Islands with my good friend Capt. James Pelham from Land O'Lakes Marine. Yesterday, Greg said he ran across a few of these holes, saw a few redfish, so we're gonna hit one more spot. We got some really nice trout this morning. Didn't kill them like we thought we would, but you know what? Today's totally different than every other day we fished this week. We thought we were gonna have the same conditions with the clouds and the overcast and everything, but man, look around now. Clouds burned off, got the high pressure. Whenever you get, you know, bluebird skies and high pressure, the trout really don't dig it a lot, but we didn't get a ton of trout. We got some really nice trout, but now we're gonna try to see if we can't top it off with a redfish. If not, we're heading in, go grab some lunch, and we'll be down in the airboat next month. So make sure you check that out. Oh, what's that right there? That's a redfish. See him? See him? Find him though. Oh, I didn't even get it near him. Did you see him, James?
Yeah.
I don't know if he saw you or the lure. There we go. I think it's red, man. I just saw one sitting in that hole just a second ago. He said, and I pitched out to him. I thought I made a pretty good cast, but I think we just got a little close to him. He took off. I just about got it through this hole. I was just about ready to reel.
Digging.
And dude, he freaking thumped it. I'm talking about snatched it out of my hand. I think it's a pretty nice redfish, James.
See him yet, but he's digging good.
That's a nice redfish, I think.
Yeah, turn it sideways now.
Came over here and Greg said he had seen a couple of redfish sitting in these holes. Like I said, we just saw one. It's perfect time for it. Just, low water's just turned around, starting to come in. And these fish are sitting here with their nose into the current. The one redfish I saw had his nose right into the current. My first cast came up behind him. I threw it right out in front of him. He didn't like it, but man, I tell you what, this sucker saw this and he wanted it pretty bad. He's got some weight to him, man. I'm pulling on him. He's not going anywhere.
He's coming.
Oh. Get these big old bellies so you can Yeah, this time of year, man, especially when the water gets clear and the fish get finicky, the lighter the equipment you use, the better. Light line, light leader. Yeah, especially throwing lures, doing a lot of casting. My arm, you know, I'm not in lure shape right now, but having the lighter equipment definitely helps. I'll tell you what, another thing, man, you get this cooler weather, higher oxygen content in the water, the fish fight better, especially the redfish. It's a nice fish. And he's lucky Kay didn't on the boat. Kay wouldn't let us throw him back.
Hey, swap side.
Oh yeah, he's a little fatty. Come on now. It's a nice fish. I didn't think he was that.
No.
I didn't think he was that big when I first hooked him. That's a nice redfish right there, man. Wintertime redfishing out of Tarpon Springs. Doing the same thing we were doing with trout, drifting across potholes, stake out when you see a fish or two, throw a mirror lure in it, good things happen. Make sure they're good to go. There you go. Awesome. Even got a little scallop hanging out down there. Hey guys, thanks for checking out this month's episode of B3TV. Thanks to my buddy Captain James Pelham for coming and fishing with us. And like I said, if you need to get anything done on your boat, whether it's being rigged, preventive maintenance, or if you hit a rock like I do quite frequently, James has had a lot of practice with my boat, and I'm sure he can take care of yours. But they handle everything over there. Land O'Lakes Marine up in Land O'Lakes, just on 41, just north of Hungry Harry's Barbecue. Guys, make sure you check out Facebook. Lots of stuff, a lot of things we do on the website gets over to Facebook. It's an easy way to keep track of what's new. Go to the website, b3fishing.com, check out all the past episodes. Listen, we're gonna do an episode once a month. Like I mentioned earlier, it's gonna give us the opportunity to do more fishing instead of being in a hurry. We'll be able to edit the videos better, we won't be in such a rush. It'll still be pretty recent because it'll be within a week or two of when we went fishing, but you'll get to see all kinds of stuff. It also gives us the ability to travel around the state. We're gonna go to Northeast, Northwest, East Central, South Florida, the Keys, everything. Keep track on b3fishing.com for the schedule. It may change a little bit here and there. Some of the dates are to be determined, but check all that out. Had a great day fishing with you, James. Wasn't as good as I was hoping for, but we got big fish. We went quality over quantity, and you know what? We set a new precedent where you don't fall in the water on a boat, which is always nice.
That's a good thing.
And it's usually my fault you do fall in the water, but that's a good thing. So I kept James dry today. We got a few fish. Thanks again for coming to fish with us. And be sure to stay tuned to b3fishing.com for new episodes.